Is Coleman Hawkins, what's he doing? He's not visiting Louisville?
I think he rerouted his plane to Perth.
So, okay. Breaking news this afternoon, Coleman is not visiting Louisville. And then an hour later, breaking news, Coleman is visiting Kansas State instead. And in between those two reports, we had Coleman take a break from his social media break to tweet out, everything happens for a reason. I think that was the exact quote. Am I right on that?
So, or everything will play out, something like that.
I took a screenshot of it earlier, actually, which is good because it's since been deleted. He tweeted, everything happens for a reason. This face. That was, again, 24 hours after saying taking a break from this app. Please don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I
Can we
love it.
summarize this all by saying, I love Coleman
I
Hawkins so
love
much.
Coleman. I
I
love you,
love
man. I
him.
hope you hear this. I truly love you, brother. I really do.
I love the kid. I love the kid. Okay. What the hell's happening though?
I think literally I said it on the other episode the other day. This is the downside of entering the portal late and entering like being one of the last names in here because on paper you're like, oh yeah, all these guys are gonna give you such these bags and you're gonna be so coveted because teams want you. Well, what if teams don't have the money? What if teams don't have the playing time guarantee you want? What if the teams don't have the positional like space that you want? It puts you in a really rough area. And right now it seems to be that way. And to be honest with you, I was already on DH gate ordering a Hawkins Louisville white jersey, home jersey. I thought it was done and dusted, to be honest with you. So like I'm just so confused about all this at this point. I don't get it.
I'd like to bring this all back broadly for a second, because I am wildly confused about what's going on. I mean, in the last week, we've done a video every single day because every single day there's Coleman Hawkins news. Like, we're not trying to do this, but every day there's news that changes this. Stepping back broadly, we have heard people think Coleman's three serious options are Kansas State and SMU and Louisville. One of those three is now out of it. And if you believe, like, context clues from Coleman tweeting that would seem to say Louisville's the one who canceled it, right? Like, I don't think Coleman tweets everything happens for a reason if Coleman's the one backing out.
Oh, 100%.
So I don't know. I don't know. I'm sure someone could correct me on that. But like the context clues of all of this seem to point to like Louisville's like, hey, never mind. And if that's the case, then you could conclude it's Kansas State or SMU. Now, again, we have heard from someone close to the situation that there are other schools, not Kansas State or SMU or Louisville, that want Coleman to visit. Maybe this opens up. But I just want to step back broadly and say this. Something is wrong here. Something is wrong because Coleman Hawkins is way too good of a player to have Kansas State and SMU be the only schools showing him serious interest. And if there are more schools showing him serious interest, I think we would have heard of it by now publicly, or at least like somebody should be publicly promoting it. But we also like tying this back a week ago or 2 weeks ago, whenever Coleman hit the portal, the first news was like, don't even contact me if you're not going to pay me great Osobor money. And now today it's like Goodman had to tweet a thread of like correcting the situation. Like, so what, like, did they just set the price too high? Is that all this was?
I think they set the price too high, which priced people out, and then the people that were priced in that could do it don't have the other needs that he has at this point because it's so late in the process. Like maybe they don't have the minutes he wants. Maybe they don't have the personnel he wants.
So to read this directly from Jeff Goodman, Coleman Hawkins is set to visit Kansas State this weekend. One major misnomer with Hawkins. I'm told there's no asking price of $2 million. He obviously wants to be compensated fairly per the current marketplace, but this is more about the fit, the chance to develop, play for a winning program, and for a coach that will get the most out of him. Hey, Carter, do you know of any places that Coleman Hawkins could fit, have the chance to develop, play for a winning program, and for a coach that gets the most out of him? That maybe needs a player?
In the Big Ten?
Maybe the school he was just at, Cart? Like, what are we doing here? I'm sorry. We're really doing this after an Elite Eight run. After Coleman Hawkins just went to the Elite Eight And now he's like doing the dance, shaking ass, saying, I get me, everybody come get me. And he finds out the only schools that want to get him are Kansas State and SMU. We're gonna tell everyone, okay, it's actually not about the money. I just want to go somewhere I can win and develop. Dog, Illinois needs a player like you, and you just won there and developed there. Like, why are we all doing this if this really isn't about the money?
Because if he goes to Illinois, there's probably a ripple effect that they don't want. At this point, if they did this this dance shouldn't have happened. This shouldn't have happened. It shouldn't have got to this point. But now it's already at this point. And they already got all these guys. And they got all these I get it. Like maybe like a Booth guy, you kick to the curb for a guy like Coleman. But like, what is this do to Merez if he comes back?
I would hope these dudes want to win basketball games. Coleman Hawkins helps you win basketball games.
They also want to play.
There's a lot of dudes in the front court that aren't Merez that don't deserve minutes for Coleman. Like,
right. I mean, what I'm saying at this point, with everything said, there is no going back.
There's not. But so, like, did he burn bridges everywhere? That's like, this whole thing's crazy.
I think everybody did.
Everybody burned?
I think everybody. I think this is one of the most mishandled situations of all time on every party. Every party's, no one's in the right here.
I just think it's ridiculous. A player as good as Coleman Hawkins seems headed for Kansas State. And while also like telling everyone it's not about the money. It's not about the money. Like,
I want to win and I want to develop. Oh yeah, the first coaches that come to mind there are Pat Kelsey, Andy Enfield, and Jerome Tang.
Let me go play with Doug McDaniel to win. Like, I don't understand this. I'm sad about it. And look, I hope the reports are right that Coleman has some other schools interested. And if he ends up at Kansas State, dead ass, I'm going to end up a fan of Kansas State this year. Because in the last calendar year card, I bought 2 college basketball jerseys. You know what they are?
A Doug McDaniel and a Coleman Hawkins.
So I'm a Kansas State fan, okay? For the next year, that's what happens. But I'm sad about it. And then meanwhile, you got Vicini tweeting out narratives that like NBA teams are turned off by Coleman's personality or like his antics. Like, look, I thought that was a ridiculous thing to imply. I don't think it's fair to the kid to imply that. But at the same time, now I'm concerned we're seeing that happen with college. Like, how is a player of Coleman Hawkins' capabilities only down to SMU and Kansas State potentially? It makes no sense to me.
I hate it. Like, what? Like, this... Can't somebody swoop in? Like, what's Todd Golden doing right now?
I don't know.
Like, somebody's got to swoop in here.
I don't know. It's frustrating. It's really frustrating. I don't know where this is going to end up. I feel completely blind to it. Like, we could literally sit here and say, like, we think he's going to go to Kansas State. He's visiting. And then he could cancel the visit tomorrow. Like, and it could come out that Coleman wants to play for free. He'll actually pay you to play for his school. I have no idea anymore. Nothing about this makes sense. I think we're due for at least 3 more like social media hiatuses though, like before this ends.
Yeah, Coleman to Purdue.
All right. I mean this from the bottom of my heart. Good luck, Coleman Hawkins. I want to see this end in a good spot, and I'm concerned that it's not, and I hope it works out. The NBA draft is coming up, and I've got something awesome for you. We are partnering with the people at NBA 2K Lab. NBA 2K is the best video game on earth. The people at 2K Lab are making some awesome stuff to make that game even more fun, and they just launched their 2024 NBA Draft Simulator, where you can find the official Sleepers Media Big Board. We ranked our top 75 players in this draft class. Me, Carter, Brian Ralph, Riley Davis. We did it together, and it is featured on the 2K Lab NBA Draft Simulator. You can take control of any team in the draft, play GM with just 1 click, and see our entire rankings before these videos even come out. Check out the link in the description of this video to try out the draft sim for yourself, and you can find more mini games at nba2klab.com/NBA-mini-games.